Blaise Pascal once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." Think about that. Every war, every bad argument, every terrible financial decision, every toxic relationship you have ever stayed in usually comes from a fear of being alone. We are terrified of the silence. We are terrified of ourselves. Society tells you that the man who stays home is a loser. They say he is antisocial. They say he is missing out. They look at the man who spends his Friday night reading a book or sitting in silence, and they pity him. But the Stoics knew the truth. They knew that the man who can be alone is the most dangerous man in the world. Why? Because a man who is content in solitude cannot be manipulated. You cannot sell him things he doesn't need to impress people he doesn't like. You cannot threaten him with social exclusion because he has already excluded himself. He is free. In this video, we are not talking about loneliness. Loneliness is a weakness. It is the pain of being alone. We are talking about solitude. Solitude is a strength. It is the glory of being alone. By the end of this video, you will understand why staying home is not just a preference, it is a weapon. Chapter 1. The Great Deception. Why does society push you to go out? Why is extroversion sold to us as the ideal personality type? From the moment you are born, you are trained to seek external validation. In school, you must raise your hand to be seen. At work, you must network to be valued. On social media, you must post to exist. We have built a civilization that runs on attention. If you stop seeking attention, you break the machine. Seneca, one of the richest and most powerful men in Rome, warned us about the crowd. He wrote, "I never bring back home the same character that I took with me. Contact with the crowd is harmful." Seneca realized that every time he went out to dinner parties, or the gladiator games, or the Senate, he returned home more greedy, more ambitious, and more cruel. The crowd infects you. Today, the crowd isn't just the people at the bar. It is the device in your pocket. When you sit at home, but you are scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, you are not alone. You have invited the entire world into your living room. You have invited the noise, the comparison, and the chaos into your sanctuary. The great deception is the lie that connection equals happiness. But look around. We are the most connected generation in history, yet we are the most anxious, depressed, and medicated. Why? Because we have lost the art of the inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, had the world at his feet. He could have partied every night. Instead, he wrote in his journals about retreating into himself. He said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When you stay home, you are not hiding from the world. You are protecting your soul from the infection of the crowd. You are choosing to be the master of your own mind rather than a slave to the opinions of others. This is the first step to power. Chapter 2. The 7 benefits of the inner citadel. So what happens when you actually embrace this? When you stop apologizing for staying home and start using it strategically? You unlock 7 specific powers. Number 1, financial sovereignty. It is impossible to discuss freedom without discussing money. The Stoics were not against wealth, but they were against slavery to wealth. Most men are broke not because they don't earn enough, but because they are trying to maintain a lifestyle that the crowd dictates. The dinners, the drinks, the clothes, the cars. These are the admission tickets you pay to be accepted by society. When you learn to love your own company, the cost of your life drops to 0. You no longer need to pay for entertainment because your mind is entertaining enough. You no longer need to buy status symbols because you are not trying to impress anyone. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The man who stays home accumulates resources while the man who goes out burns them. In 5 years, the difference between these two men is not just a bank balance, it is freedom. One is a slave to his job to pay for his weekends, the other owns his time. Number 2, emotional autonomy. Have you ever noticed how much drama is caused simply by being near other people? The gossip, the misunderstandings, the petty conflicts. When you are always in the mix, your emotions are tied to the actions of others. If they are rude, you are angry. If they are nice, you are happy. You are a puppet, and they pull the strings. Solitude cuts the strings. When you spend time alone, you detach from the emotional turbulence of the group. You begin to see people's behavior as weather. It happens, but it doesn't have to affect you. This is the Stoic concept of apatheia. Not apathy in the modern sense of not caring, but equanimity. Being unshakable. You cannot be unshakable if you are standing on a shaking floor. Sometimes you must step off the floor. Solitude is the balcony. When you step back from society, when you spend your weekends in silence while others are in the noise, you start to see the truth about human nature. You see the cycles. You see the desperation in people's eyes that you used to have. This clarity is power. It allows you to make better decisions because you are looking at the map, while everyone else is lost in the maze. Number 4, creative violence. This is where solitude becomes dangerous. Every great idea in human history was born in isolation. Not in meetings, not in group chats, not in brainstorming sessions filled with noise and ego. Creation requires tension, silence, friction between you and your own thoughts. When you are constantly around others, your mind is domesticated. It becomes polite, predictable, safe. But when you are alone long enough, something changes. Your thoughts stop asking for permission. Nietzsche warned that he who cannot command himself should obey. Solitude teaches you to command yourself. The mind, when deprived of distraction, turns inward and then outward with force. Ideas sharpen. Truths become uncomfortable. Weak beliefs die. This is why most people avoid being alone, because solitude forces you to confront the parts of yourself you've been hiding behind noise. And that confrontation is violent, but it is necessary. The man who creates in solitude returns to the world with something the crowd can never produce: original thought. Number 5, immunity to manipulation. The crowd is easy to control. It reacts, it panics, it copies. But the man who spends time alone develops resistance. When you sit quietly, without music, without scrolling, without distraction, you begin to recognize psychological tricks instantly. Fear-based messaging, social pressure, manufactured outrage. You see it for what it is: control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Solitude gives you time to question the estimate. When everyone is screaming panic, you are silent. When everyone is rushing, you wait. When everyone is buying, you observe. That makes you dangerous, because systems rely on predictability, and solitude makes you unpredictable. Number 6, identity forged in fire. Most men don't know who they are. They know who they are around others. Different personality at work, different personality with friends, different personality online. This is fragmentation. Solitude removes the audience. And when there is no audience, the mask falls. At first, this is uncomfortable. Silence reveals insecurity, regret, weakness. But if you stay, if you don't escape back into noise, something forms. A solid self. An identity not dependent on approval. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." You cannot define yourself if you are constantly reacting to others. Solitude is where identity stops being borrowed and starts being built. Number 7, the controlled return. This is the benefit most people misunderstand. Stoicism is not about hiding forever. It is about choosing when to engage. The man who masters solitude does not avoid society. He enters it on his terms. You return sharper, quieter, more deliberate. You speak less. But when you speak, people listen. You are no longer seeking validation. You are no longer feeding on attention. And paradoxically, that makes others drawn to you, because nothing is more powerful than a man who does not need to be seen. Chapter 3, the monk mode protocol. Power without discipline is chaos. So here is how you actually use solitude, without becoming isolated, bitter, or weak. This is monk mode, Stoic edition. Rule 1, schedule your solitude. Solitude must be intentional, at least one full day per week with no social media, No unnecessary conversations, no entertainment, just reading, writing, thinking, walking. If you don't schedule solitude, the world will schedule noise for you. Rule 2, remove digital invasions. Your phone is not neutral, it is the crowd in your pocket. If you are alone but still scrolling, you are not alone. You are being invaded. Protect the inner citadel. Silence notifications. Delete the apps. Reclaim your mental territory. Rule 3, write, don't consume. Reading is good, but writing is better. Writing forces clarity. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to impress anyone. He wrote to discipline his mind. You should do the same. If you don't externalize your thoughts, they will control you from the shadows. Rule 4, exit with intent. When you return to the world, do it deliberately. Go out to build. Go out to lead. Go out to execute. Never to escape yourself. Chapter 4, the return. Most men fear being alone because solitude removes excuses. There is no one to blame, no one to impress, no one to distract you, only truth. But understand this, the man who can sit alone, in silence, without reaching for noise, is already ahead of the world. He cannot be rushed, he cannot be pressured, he cannot be controlled. In a world addicted to noise, silence is rebellion. In a world addicted to validation, self-sufficiency is dominance. Learn to stay home, not because you are weak, but because you are preparing. If this message resonated, subscribe, not for entertainment, but for discipline. The inner citadel is built one decision at a time.